Hi, in this video I will show you how to put together this Dad Trophy card, which is a free SVG from Simply Crafty SVGs. So I want to do something a little bit special because it's been, it's not special, but a little bit different. Like normally I would, for a freebie, I might not go really involved, but I wanted to do this little box card, which is just a trophy that says number 1 and then Dad. So it's the Dad Trophy card. It's really a box card, so it flattens to fit flat into an envelope, but it folds to sit up, so it can sit up like that. And it is fits into, it's not an A2 card exactly. It's not the quite 5.5 inches tall, but it will fit into an A2 envelope. So that's an example. Actually, this exact one here, sometimes I don't get it quite right, but this is a little bit too big, so I sized it down just a little bit. So this is it. You could use the number 1, and you can use the cutout Dad, but also in the extra stuff folder is a blank one of these, so you could write on it or make it like white and write on it with gold. Could be for a coach, mom, sister, brother, anything. So number 1, whatever it is. So it's a card that you can use for other occasions. So let's go ahead and start. So we have these pieces that are the card and the insert. So it's a simple box card, so if you've never done a box card, this is a way to do it in a freebie. And then we have the front and back panels, and then this is the back of the card actually. So we'll start. What you want to do first, just to get it prepped, is to take this gold Dad piece and center it over this back piece. So I already did that. One thing I want to say is just be careful with gold cardstock paper. The glue will show on the front, so you kind of have to add glue sparingly around the openings and then just try to place it and center it. So I already did that. So here are the gold pieces for the trophy piece, which will fit on here. So if you, I'll show you the order they go in. So that's the back, and then it'll be this piece. So you have a black piece to go behind that, or whatever color. You can have the blue, you can have it any color you want really. And then that goes behind the number 1. This will go like this to layer there, and this will layer to fit exactly to have that little black outline. So this way it's going to help you fit it all together correctly. So if you wanted to use it for something different, you can always take the number 1 out using your software. You could always just fill that in. You could always weld it in Cricut Design Space, like a square over it so this is solid, or try to remove these pieces with contour, and you can do similar things with software like SureCuts-A-Lot and Silhouette Studio. So, but I'm going to show you how to put it together as is. So we'll go ahead and put this together now. And you want to be really careful when you're using metallics. You could do this just in a yellow or a gold cardstock without the shiny gold. So what I would do first is take this piece and this little piece. I'm going to put this behind here. So, but I want to add the glue on this piece first because I want to get it around that 1 and the pound side. So you kind of can guesstimate. And if you wanted to, you could always add glue to the edges of this. And I'm making sure that I put the textured side down. Just center it right there. And you don't want to move it around a lot, because if you do, you're going to get glue showing through on the other side. Also make sure your mat's good and clean when you're working with. This is a slightly damp paper towel. So I just wiped off the excess glue. And only here it's going to show, so I wasn't too worried about it. And for this, we want to take this piece and make sure the textured side's up. I'm using American Crafts cardstock, textured. I'm just going to go around the edges making sure that I don't get glue too close to the opening. And then it's up to you, but I think it's easiest to line it up on the bottom of the trophy. So we're just going to go ahead and line it up. Put it softly just on it. And this is why I don't get glue too close to the edges, so I have a little wiggle room. And the glue doesn't dry so quickly on metallics, so it's moving around a lot for me. So then I'm just going to flip it over so I don't get the top dirty. And hopefully my mat's clean in that area. And that's all set. This is kind of bulging up a little bit, that's okay. And then this last piece here. And you can see I'm trying to be careful about getting glue too close to the edges of that star cutout. And this is just going to line up again on the edges. So this, I made it so it'd be easy to line up. Not all of mine are like this, but every once in a while when I'm trying to line something perfectly in the middle, like that number 1 star, and I want it to easily have the same width, this is just the easier way to do it. So it's less room for error. And I have this, I have a little glue showing through. And then we'll just go ahead, and you can go ahead and put it on here. It'll go like this. And you can even pop it up a little bit to give it dimension, which we'll do. So let me get some foam tape to do that. So I added this foam tape to the back of this, and I'm just going to mount it. So I've already taken the backing. And if you're wondering what foam tape I'm using, I'm going to explain what I'm using versus what I actually prefer to use. So I'm currently using, I'm just going to line this up. So you just line it up so you can see the dimension it creates. So you just try to line it up as best you can. If you're going to glue it on, you just want to glue it so this top meets right here and the shape just matches around the edge. So I'm using, let me show you because it's huge, because it's not going to show in the whole picture, but it's like 36 yards of this Arteza foam tape that I got. What I do like about it, there's things I don't like about it. What I do like it, I like about the thickness, but I like Scotch foam tape a little bit better because I can tear it with my fingers. So this has a plastic coating and it's harder to get off than the Scotch foam, but I like the thickness of this. So I don't know if I'd ever buy this again, just for the fact that it's hard because I don't have nails and I have to get like a pick or something to get underneath it. Of course it's going to last forever anyways. So that's what I'm using because I have it, and I was trying it and I didn't realize it was going to be that big of a roll. And then I did the same thing here. We're not going to quite do that yet. Before we get started, we're just going to go ahead and put together the card. What I want to ask you is, if you do like this project, this freebie, if you could just give me a like below and or subscribe to our channel. And if you do hit the little bell to the right, it'll notify you when we have new videos, whether it be a freebie or one of our other files or tutorial. It'll notify you. So I appreciate that if you do get a chance. So let's go ahead and work on the card. So it's pretty simple. It's not that hard to put together, but if you've never done a box card, this is one to try. So this is the insert, which this is going to mount on, or glue on. So I'm just going to glue that on first. And you see I folded the tabs already. Doing a lot of ums today. So we're just going to match it up, and the reason I shape the inserts the way I do, I mean some I do, some I don't, but for this one it was just for strength. It's a small card. So we're just going to go ahead and match it up. And for me, it's a little bit difficult because I'm getting the glare of the gold. But you just want to match it up in the shape. And I didn't make it exactly. Sometimes I don't make them exactly 5.5 inches tall or wide when they're A2s, just so you don't sacrifice the shape of that you're trying to make. So I wanted this a little curvier, but I didn't want it to be too flimsy. So that insert background gives it a little bit more stability. So I didn't line it up too well. So turning it over, you'll see whether you lined it up well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, working with gold is not an easy color to work with at all, ever. Gold, silver, any metallics, the glue will show on the front. So if you find yourself getting frustrated with that, just go with like a gold or yellow cardstock, or even if you want to do like a gray one to emulate silver. So just to give you a little tip. So now these are the card pieces. What we want to do first is put the card together. So there's one side's rounded, and that matches the rounded part on the front. Okay, so make sure the rounded piece for here is up. Then we're going to go ahead and make sure you fold it on all the score lines. And we're going to go ahead and add glue to one of the tabs. We'll do the left one. And we're just going to take this, so they're both with the texture side up. I'm just going to line this edge up to the tab fold. So you don't want to go over the fold. You just want to go up to it. And you can always play it safe and go a little bit to the left of it. Not too much, just a hair. But it's pretty forgiving. If you go too much, it might affect the insert. So at this point, just make sure that's nice and glued. So I flipped it upside down. I have a little glue that's coming through the other side, but that's okay. We'll have a panel that covers it. I'm going to take this insert, and you can see it's like that. See, that's the front, so I want it upside down. So it's like this. It's going to go like this. So we're going to go ahead, and those are folded back. We're going to glue that first tab right here. You can do it on either side. Once you get used to this, it's just a method I've been doing my box cards. It's just easier flat. So I'm going to take this edge up to this fold right here. See, that's the side. Just make sure that's the front. And they're really interchangeable, so if you accidentally do it the other way. Some cards are interchangeable, some aren't. So I'm going to line this up, and I'm just making sure the end of this tab is almost right to the, you don't want to be too close, but just a little bit away from that back fold right here. So you can see, you can push it a little bit closer if you want. Then before it dries, I'm just going to make sure that the bottom's lined up and it's flat to the front edge, bottom edge of the card, like that, right there. So we have it like this. Make sure it's good and dry. We're going to fold it like that. So right here, we're just going to fold it on this part right here. And what that's going to do, so I can show you, when I fold it like that, this is going to go into position exactly where I need it to be. So then I'll just glue the tab down right there, flat. So we're going to go ahead and want to make sure you can see it without the shadows. We're going to go ahead and fold this tab up. Add glue lightly to it. And then we're going to fold it. You see how it's folded right there? I'm going to flatten it. As I'm doing it, I'm making sure that that bottom lines up. Oops. It's lining up on the bottom. Sorry about that. So you can't really see, now you can see it. That was a little crooked. So before you pull that down, I'm going to make sure that it's lined up on the, I'm just lining up right here. It wasn't lined up. I didn't check prior to pushing down. And I haven't closed up the card yet, but just to show you. Oops. So once that's glued in place, you see it's glued, we're going to fold this in. Add glue to that. And just place that right over it. And it'll go flat. Just want to flatten it. And if you're a little bit off, it's not going to throw the card off too much. So you can see I'm a little bit off on the edge here. So I'm just kind of wiggling it up. And I'm using art glitter glue, which is somewhat fast drying, but it gives a little time. So one of the reasons I switched from Scotch Quick Dry to art glitter glue is because of the drying time for me. Because I'm kind of a slow crafter, so I think everybody needs to find their own glue. So that's basically it. We just need to add the front and back. So now we have these panels. So one's going to go here, and one's going in the back because I want it to look the same on the front and back. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull these backings off the dad plaque. And again, there's a blank plaque file if you don't want dad and you want something else. And you could print and cut it, or if you could add vinyl to it, however you want to do it. When it comes to words, sometimes something this small vinyl would be good. Dad was easy because it was a small word and the cuts were not horribly small. So I'm just popping that on there so that both panels are the same. And then to put it on here, just go ahead and can add glue on the front. And we're going to match up these round pieces. So don't put glue here because you don't want to have glue there or there. And I'm just making sure my glue's leaking just a little bit. So get it matched up on those round pieces on the top, and then you can flatten it out. And make sure there's no glue on your fingertips when you're doing this because you'll get it on your gold. I'll continue to tell you that. And you could have added dad after the fact too. And then we'll add this back one. So if you do want a sentiment on the back here, you could always duplicate that black piece behind dad and make it off-white, something to write on if that's what you want to do. You could just put a regular rectangle in the back. So I'm just matching it up on the rounded pieces on the top there. The other thing you could do is add something, just a little square back here, and write on it. So now you can see we have it all together. I know it's hard to see metallic, even metallic cards, but it goes like that. So again, here's a different version of it. And the other thing that'd be fun to do, and I did keep it, but the star that cut from here, you could always put that on the back. So if you just wanted a little bit more to it, and not waste the star. So we'll just do that. So you can flatten it, put it in cards, and then it can sit and display. And I know you're seeing it from the top, but you can see how easily it displays. So whether you're using a homemade A2 card, because we have a free one in our basic envelope set, or if you're using one, this is from a store, you can see you can carefully slide it in and slide it out, and then that recipient, whether it be your dad or somebody close to you or a friend, will be able to display it. So again, if you like this project, please give me a little like below. I always appreciate that. And thank you for watching.